So you're about 18 or so now. Like what? Okay, so first of all, how old are you now?
I'm actually 31 years old.
Okay, so you're
Yep.
31 now. So what's happened between 18 or 17 and 31 now? I mean, how did
Um,
you?
okay, so I want to say about so from 18, I was taking the medication for a while. I was taking only one of the medications, which was called cabergoline, that actually helped shrink the tumor. But like I
Okay.
said, once again, um, that would make you woozy. It would make you really tired. It'd make you really, really tired. So you could never like take it during the day. If you work during the day, the best time to take it would be at night. So it would make you really woozy, really tired. So that was one of the downsides to that. But I was taking it on and off from 18 to I want to say 24.
Okay.
So I was taking it on and off. I would get it, throw it to the side. Oh, my head's not hurting. I'm fine. Whatever. Um, I want to say 24. I want to say like 23, 24. That's when that's when I was living in I moved out when I was 21, but I was living on my own for about 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at myself in the mirror as I was driving my car. Sorry about the background.
Yeah.
But I was looking at myself driving in the mirror. So I looked in my rear view mirror, and you know how it's just one of them things where you don't pay attention to yourself in the mirror that day, and you go out the house and you're like, let me go make a run. So I look in the rear view mirror of my car, and I'm looking like, wait, am I tripping? So I look and I realign my mirror. I'm like, okay, maybe it's just me. So I look again, and my left eye was kind of off track. I'm like, wow.
Oh, okay.
So as I'm driving, I'm like, man, I can't believe that my eye is crooked.
Right. Yeah.
And, I laugh about it now because you let stuff like that get to you, man. You gotta be a little bit stronger than that. But I'm like, man, my eye is crooked. So I call my folks. I'm like, yo, y'all ain't notice my eye? It was like, no, what you talking about? So I'm taking pictures and sending it to them. But yeah, that was the first time, I want to say 23, 24 was when I actually first seen my first devastating problem with the tumor. Yep.
Right.
So I went to the hospital, and they gave me the diagnosis of third nerve palsy. And that's why my eye is the way that it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So but your actual vision is okay, but it's just your eyes.
Yeah. My
Okay.
my vision is fine. My peripheral vision is a
Mm-hmm.
little shaky.
Right.
But I believe that it improved over time with my fasting and things like that, and just taking better care of myself. Because we'll dive into all of that later when you ask that question.
Right. Straight up.
Right.
Yeah. So when you were 24 and you had to go through this process, obviously another big milestone in this kind of journey. Did you then start? Were you motivated to start taking a new medication and kind of getting back at it, or what kind of happened with that?
Nah, to be honest with you, it's just one of them things where, when you're young, you think you're invincible, man. You think you can jump off the tallest building and still be alive. So I looked at it like, I'm still a good looking dude. I ain't worried about that. So, I just laughed it off, and I told my mom about it. She's like, boy, that's why I keep telling you to go to the doctor. All right, yeah, mom, whatever. So, you just keep it pushing.
Right.
And that's what I did. I kept it pushing and didn't think nothing of it. And then, yeah, that was pretty much it. So from 24 to, I want to say about 28 was the next time I was admitted in the hospital for real, like crazy head pain. And it was kind of like the same situation I was just in, but I was hoping that I guess in my mind, I was trying to tell myself that, hey, if I let this go on long enough, they'll just remove it. But see, I didn't know the consequences of all of that. I just thought brain surgery was, oh, they go in, snip, snip, take it out, whatever. You know, I didn't understand the complexity of it.
Right.
So I was just like, well, you know what? If something happened, it's going to happen. You know, and that was the mindset that I took after a while. And I realized now that was a really bad mistake, man. I never should do that. And we should never do that as people. When we have issues, we should definitely not rely on the doctors, but get whatever information that it is that you may need, because we can't check our own blood levels. We can't, we don't have laboratories in our homes to check our blood, and look to see what's wrong or what may be going on in our bodies at the time.
Right.
So, they are useful for something.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you want to know what's going on, check your progress, things like that, as you go on a natural health journey, I think it's really helpful.
For sure.
We've certainly gotten some papers from the doctors along our journey for various things. And if nothing else, just to show the progress and be able to prove to people that what we're doing works.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely. So 28, you started to experience these really bad headaches once again. And at that point in time, what was your next step? Did you, obviously you've kind of been on this up and down thing with the medication and never really see anything, not really wanting to take it, not really wanting to go to the doctor. So at what point did you decide that it was time to kind of start taking things into your own hands?
When my dad was first diagnosed with cancer, that's when things really, I wanted to turn to other things, and I knew it wasn't right. But you hear it in music, and you hear it or you see it in your everyday life. Where you come from a background of family members who are known alcoholics. It's just tough, man, because you don't want that, but people turn to different things, man, for different reasons. And of course you never want to pass judgment, but at that point I was just to the point where I was like, man, you know what, I'm just ready to take a hit of something, or because it scared me.
Right.
And thank God he's still here. So yeah, that just really shook me. So at that point when he was diagnosed, that really started making me look a little bit deeper into my situation.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, I find it's interesting that you mentioned that, because I would say a big factor in why we're even sitting here today is my uncle. When he got diagnosed with cancer, he was very young. He's probably like 40, 46 or something like that, 43 or 47, something like that. And going through that whole process, and I wasn't really around. I didn't really know what was going on, but I just remember thinking, oh, he's going to be all right. You know what I mean? You don't really think about the worst case. You want to be supportive and all that. And
Absolutely.
He ended up passing away when he was 50. And it hit me. And I was just like, this is crazy. Like he did triathlons. I wouldn't say he was the healthiest person in the world, because I don't know anything about like what he ate, but just from my perception of him, he was an athlete. He was very active, in his work. He helped a lot of people, and he was young. So having to go through that experience, and the trauma that I experienced, it triggered something in me. Like, man, I want to learn. I don't want this to happen to me. So that's interesting that your experience is similar. So now you're going kind of down I guess the dark path, dealing with the substance abuse and things like that. Is that something that you're still dealing with? Have you been able to get out of that?
Nah, actually, like I said, I had never attempted it. I had never attempted it because it's just one of the moments where you got to snap yourself out of it.
Gotcha.
But it was definitely on my mind. I wanted to run the streets. I felt like I had to run away from my issue. And that, running away from anything is never the issue. You got to face it head on, and you just got to attack it. Just don't stand there and let it punch you. You got to punch back. So when I realized that, I said, man, what am I doing? You know, I love playing basketball. I was an athlete my whole life. I played high school basketball. I played elementary school basketball. I was never, like I said, I was never big until I started taking these medications. And ever since then, it's just been really hard for me to shake the weight, man. So yeah, I never really struggled with it. I wanted to, and then ultimately, of course, you know, when you think about it, like I said, with my father was diagnosed with prostate cancer, but he was also a smoker his whole life.
Right. Okay.
So, you know, it was just like, come on, stupid, you gonna go put something up to your face, and knowing your father's just going through what he's going through.
Right.
So it just didn't make sense to me. So I kind of, you know, swerved that, and I just went to my other outlets, which I love video games. I talked about in the beginning. I would do that to pass time. I would read the Bible, or even go to one of my first loves, which is basketball and art. You know, I draw a lot. I draw a lot, and it helps me with therapy, man. It's very therapeutic. Very therapeutic. Yep.
Yeah, I find creative arts in general are very therapeutic for so many people.
Right.
Definitely a good outlet. It's a healthy outlet, you know, oftentimes.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
how long have you been on the healthy alternative? Because I know that, I mean, I know you've been with us for a while. Like, I've seen you in the group, you know, for quite some time.
Yeah. I like to say I've been creeping around the healthy alternative for a couple years. I'm like, you know, the first thing, and it's no shot to you because obviously I'm educated now. But I'm like, man, is this dude crazy? I'm like, is he one of these I'm like, is he one of these empowerment to the black people type brothers? I'm like, man, what is he talking about? So as I said, I think the first interview that I seen was I want to either say it was your friend, the guy that always ate chips or something like that, or ate snacks.
Yeah, my friend.
Or it was your cousin, or I think, now Jonathan's your brother, so it was the other guy that said he used his powers. He said he used his powers to not have the guy buy the car or something like that.
Oh yeah, my brother Steven.
Okay, Steven. Yeah. So I think those two were the first videos that I seen, and after that it just took off because I couldn't believe that Steven lost that much weight, and I'm like, there's no way. You know, that's the natural reaction. You know,
Right.
because we believe in what doctors say, and because they got the big lab coats and they got the clipboards, and they come in and they tell you all these different numbers and algorithms and all this old nonsense. And, you know, you feel stupid, so you like, okay, doctor, whatever you say. You know, but I'm just looking at you, and I'm like, this guy is a brother, just like me, normal dude, and I'm like, he helping people. So that resonated with me so much, man. It resonated. I ran because at this time, my mom. It was ironic that my mom actually spent the night at my crib. So she was in the guest bedroom, and I ran in the room. I said, "Mom," I said, "Yo." I never felt like this because I'm a grown 31-year-old man. I felt like a 5-year-old kid. I'm like, "Mom, yo, I listened to this dude and his brother, and you know, they talk about they fast to lose weight." I'm like, you can fast and lose weight and not lose skin and all this. So I think this was about. I think I've been around about 3 years to answer the question.
That sounds
I think
about
I've been
right.
around, yeah, about 3 years. Yep.
Yeah, that's dope. That's interesting. A lot of people do tell me that when they very first heard me or seen me, they had that reaction like, "Oh, this dude's crazy. He's lying." It's funny because early on, you know, like a couple people be like, "Oh, you doing it for the money?" I'm like, "Bro, I don't even have a product. Like, what are you talking about?" But yeah, Steve's journey was crazy. So you pretty much were drawn to the group through the you know, the possibility of losing weight. You weren't really thinking about the tumor.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. I was just like, man, I want to lose some weight. And I'm like, everybody got this thought in their head, man, come the summertime, I'm trying to have the beach body. I'm trying to have this, I'm trying to have that. And I think, well, at the time I wasn't 31. I was like 27. But, you know, at the time, you know, you say to yourself, man, when you look back on how you used to think, when you come over to I like to say the dark side, when you come over to the dark side and you start educating yourself on the things, you know, you look at things a lot differently. And like I said, I told you in the consultation that we had, I said, I no longer want to lose. I no longer want my journey just to be losing weight. I want to be well. You know, I want to be here for my daughter. Losing weight is superficial. You know, I want to be here for my child. I don't care about my looks. You know, I'm not worried about having the biggest muscles. I'm not worried about none of that. I want to be here for my child.
Definitely.